Hello, welcome to my Cyber Dragon and my Cyberdark deck profile. Let's jump right into it. Starting off, 3 core, basic Cyber Dragon stuff. Your best starter and a good extender after you start, with it, what I'm saying? Because you can banish it from the graveyard to summon a Cyber Dragon monster from your deck, But you're going to use one of them, was effects per turn. 3 Cyber Dragon. A lot of people run it at 2. You won't know when you're going to need him to hit the field. That's why it's important to run him at 3, especially when you're using your Jormungandr. It cuts it down. And especially when you're going into your Rampage to pop your back row, you're going to need a couple inside of there. And after that, most of your light monsters are gone. So in case you don't live past that turn, you might need a Cyber Dragon. You won't know. Then we're going to go 1 Hertz and 1 Naxter. Those are also pretty common and basic, and in your Cyber Dragon plays. It's really important to have those 2. This one gets you Cyber Dragon from your graveyard or deck, like your Cyber Dragon. This one is good for your recovery plays with your Chimera. Let me find them real quick. Your Chimera, remember, 2100 defense. It summons, when it hits the field, you can summon one monster 2100 attack or defense, which is really good. And that's like a lot of your Jormungandr, your Worm, your Nova, and your and etc. Right? And then 2 Jormungandr of the newer support. I remember seeing someone posting a video saying that this is the worst Cyber Dragon support and you can't search it off certain things. That you totally can, because not only is it a light machine monster that cannot be normal summoned / set, so you can search it off of emergency, right? It may not be considered a Cyber Dragon monster. You probably can't search it off a core. I think core only searches spells. I don't know why he said core. I think I might be wrong. Fact check me, right? But these are really important, really good extenders, because with my profile, you can go first or second. And then 1 Therion King Regulus, 1 negate, 1 good Omni negate you can put on the field really easily. And where you're going into your combos, especially going first, you can set him up pretty early to where Nibiru won't even matter. Moving on to our Cyberdark support, we got 3 claws. I bumped this up from my last one because I noticed that when I'm doing my test hands by myself and shuffling, right, I don't see Horizon as much as I need to, and especially with these new card sleeves, I know this is excuses, but I've been kind of bricking. So I bumped this up so I can search my Horizon, which we run 1 of, but I'm thinking about bumping up to 2 and replacing it with 1 other card I'll tell you soon. And then we got Cannon for our machine Cyberdark monsters, which can search our Chimera and our Worm. And speaking of that, 2 Chimera. A lot of people run this at 1. Remember, I'm playing Cyber Dragon, Cyberdark, so I play 2 just in case 1 doesn't hit the field. And then we got 1 Worm. You need the names. You need the names inside of this deck profile. Worm, I realized if I get 1, right, of course I can always send it off with Horizon or something, but that might not always be the case, so I won't always want to see it in my hand. Again, once per duel, it's pretty much dead. It's pretty much dead once you use it and you have another copy on it. It's pretty much just dead weight. It can be useful sometimes, but from playing with it, I realized most of the time it's just dead. 1 Edge, that completes our names. Moving on to our hand traps. 3 Ash Blossom, very generic. I don't want to play a lot of hand traps inside of here because we got a couple board breakers, and it's kind of one or the other, but I managed to find a middle ground. 5 hand traps, 2 Nibirus, especially if they make you go second. And then moving on to our spells, 3 Emergency, where you can search Cyber Jormungandr off of, and literally anything else. It's your main searcher. You got 1 Eternal, because listen, when you have your core and your claw and your other spell in hand that's gonna help you get to your stuff, you can get to Eternal. And Eternal managed to get you out this guy, which helps this guy, which puts you in a beautiful boards. And check my combo video. Maybe I'll post another one on there, good with higher quality, but that doesn't matter right now. Horizon, really good searcher and extender. It's very nice. I want to run 2 of these, right? I can't find my other one, and it'll just add more consistency. But right now I have it at 1. 2 realm. Also, when your main things, and you make sure you want to run 2 because you only have 1, and you don't get it off. You don't get your extra normal summon off your Chimera. And guess what? Now you don't get Power Bond because your Chimera searches you your Power Bond. That's why I run 2 Power Bond. Power Bond's negated, or you couldn't get Power Bond. You have a 2 out of however many card chance to get your Power Bond back. Same thing with Clockwork Knight. 1 Clockwork Knight, you send it off, you get Therion. Okay, and then you can also use it to turn your monsters, all monsters on the field of the machine. Yours gain 500, they lose 500, right? Now you can contact fuse all your opponent's monsters. The big suck, all Diddy. You know what I'm saying? And it just makes this card really useful. Because as long as you don't activate this and then send it and then discard it, you can at least have another one just in case on your field. 1 in your field, 1 in your graveyard, searching your Therion. 2 thrusts. I just picked up this card. I have yet to test it inside of battle. I'm thinking about running it at 1 so I can have another Horizon. But then you have 1 talent because, you know, a very good generic, very good thing, especially searching off with thrust. And 2 droplet, right? Good for board breaking, good for literally almost everything. And then 1 call by the grave. You know, stop because 1 draw will ruin your life. And then, bam. 2 infinite impermanents. That's all for your monsters, spells, and traps and whatnot. We're gonna move on to the extra deck. Yo. 1 and Cyberdark and Dragon. I have this one necessarily because, especially going off on your first board and you manage to get everything out, right? Guess that's an extra negate. And then if you haven't even used his equip card yet as a negate with Cyber Darkness, guess what? This is a card right here. It can keep equipping as long as you have stuff in, and that's extra attacks for a 5,000 attack, unaffected by activated card effects beater. It's just so good. It's so good. And then you can even just tribute, you can summon this either by, you know, trying to fusion summon this and this, right? But really, you just need to get your Cyber Darkness on the board, equipping to this, which Horizon helps get this in the graveyard. So you get, this is turn 1. Get these 2 on the field. Bam, equipped it with this, tribute it, boom. It's that easy, it's that easy. And once you do that, you can use your Eternal, bam, get this bad boy back and equip it to here. Now you got your negate big boy back, all right? Speaking of this, bam, 1 Cyber Darkness. I already explained what it does. End Dragon. It's for these guys. Eternity, protect your fusion monsters. You banish it, bam, and it protects your fusion monsters from targeting and destroying. So, they cannot be destroyed by card effects, and they cannot be targeted by your opponent's card effects. It's good. This for your contact fuses from the extra monster zone, your Chimera Tech Mega Fleet Dragon, Twin, because I don't have Horse Frog, and I would have to put polymerization inside of here, which would take up that thrust spot. But I think I won't even ever want to get it because this is already pretty good. You can just bam bam attack. And it's especially if you know that they have a possible negate and to mess up your Chimera Tech Rampage and you just need something to summon and beat over them. 58 with Power Bond, boom, bam, boom, they're good, they're cooked. And then 2 Chimera Tech Fortress Dragons. Really important, like, oh no, I already used one of my things to suck up everything on the field, but they still have more monsters out. Number 2, baby, right? And then you get Chimera Tech Rampage, your main Power Bond turn 2 target to bop, right? It also pops your back row. That's why I don't have Lightning Storm in here, because I wanted to save it so we're for a more going second side in, right? 1 Infinity, 1 Nova. Infinity also does the big suck, and it's your negate. Nova helps you get into the rest of your stuff. So you can get rank 5s a lot more easier, right? I actually have another rank 5 coming in that will actually have another rank 5 play that will probably replace Twin. But for now, I think these 2 will do just fine, and is your best option. You don't need to run both of them at 2. It makes no sense. You're able to easily get your 5s on the field, but you're not going to come into a situation where you're going to need 2 Novas or 2 Infinities on the field. It makes no sense. 1 Seeger for your attack and to help you link, and 1 SP Little Knight. With this machine, not with this deck, you're locked into machines. So the SP Knight won't always be too useful, but it's like that just in case, right? You have this to help you link climb through Cyberdragon Seeker to this, or this to Cyberdragon Seeker if you need it. And then one Clockwork Knight to search your Clockwork Knight, you know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna quickly go over my side deck real quick, because then I have, you know, for the meta, 2 Lancia, 2 Lightning Storm for going a second, and just in case I want to add in that power resistant deck, I'm probably going to take this out, replace it with something else. I'm not 100% sure, but that is the deck list. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this is useful. Don't listen to some other people, because sometimes their deck lists aren't very smart. I'm not saying listen to mine, but this is just really a template for what you can do. You know what I'm saying? You can do whatever you want, side in whatever you want. Have a good day. Peace.